9. Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff. 32 minutes past the hour.
This was the launch of Apollo 11 on July 16, 1969, the start of the most important mission of the program, the first manned mission to land on the moon.
The Apollo program mainly started because of this speech made by Kennedy in 1962.
Its hazards are hostile to us all. Its conquest deserves the best of all mankind. We choose to go to the moon. We choose to go to the moon. We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard. Because that challenge is one that we're willing to accept, one we are unwilling to postpone, and one we intend to win.
The National Aeronautics and Space Administration, or NASA, was created in 1958 and was a result of the Sputnik crisis. It was the organization behind all of the Apollo space missions and all other space programs at the time.
The Apollo program impacted the United States in many different ways. During the Apollo program, many people believed that funding NASA was a waste of our country's money and should be spent on other organizations.
In a decade that saw more than its share of horrors, including the assassinations of Martin Luther King Jr., Robert Kennedy, and John Kennedy, the Apollo missions provided an uplifting end. People found joy and inspiration in the success of a couple of spacecrafts.
This photo, Earthrise, was taken by astronaut Bill Anders from the moon. This photo became the most used environmental photo. It inspired many. The photo has even inspired groups of people to start up Earth Day and other conservationist programs.
Not only was Apollo affecting the way we saw Earth, it was changing the way we valued education. PhD intake at American universities, particularly in the field of physics, increased almost threefold. Apollo was making America cleverer.
The Apollo program was inspired by President Kennedy, helped lift the spirits of Americans at the time, and inspired other organizations and people to do great things. This is why the Apollo missions were the most important technological advancements during the 60s.
And I think my space